one massive learning. What's the biggest thing? So we're 1 year out from a ride that you did. What was the biggest learning that you took out of that?
I think in the context of leadership, probably the biggest learning for me was to put your oxygen mask on. I was very clear around what my routine looked like. It was a 16-hour day, and I set myself my own challenge to run a kilometre each day. I would build by a kilometre until I got to 26 kilometres on the last day.
Welcome to the Find Your Influence podcast with Anton Guinea, where we unpack all things influence and we help leaders particularly find their influence by talking to amazing humans and finding out what influence means to them, who they've been influenced by and who they have influenced. And this podcast episode proudly sponsored by the Guinea Group of companies. The Guinea Group helps leaders upgrade, upskill, uplift their teams and their influence. All right. Hey, Claire Baines, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for being on time and thanks for being pumped.
Thank you.
Team, here we are, listeners and viewers out there. We have got the one and only, the amazing CEO of the Hands Group, which includes Hands Across the Water, which is a social enterprise. And it's an Australian charity supporting disadvantaged children and communities across Thailand. And if you're looking for more information for our viewers or our listeners, please go down and listen to Claire's husband's podcast, Peter Baines. It's probably one of the most popular ones we've done. Now, CEO since February 2019, Claire oversees the social enterprise operations that generate substantial and sustainable funding for the charity while maintaining strong relationships with donors, partners and volunteers. Claire's background was in corporate events, building deep expertise in experience design. I like that. Let's unpack that. What does it mean? Design and experience. I like that. That's like funky. And bridging corporates and charities, helping organisations connect commercial goals and meaningful social impact. Please welcome the amazing Claire Baines.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
Is that good? Did I cover everything? Is there anything else that I need to know?
No, you pretty much covered it in a nutshell.
Cool. We even touched on the love side of it as well. Again. So what year was that? You're sitting in the audience, you're looking up at the stage and going, Jeepers creepers, I think I'm just falling in love right now as this dude's doing his thing. Is that what happened?
Oh, no, it was a little bit of a longer burn than that.
Not love at first sight.
I first saw Pete speak in 2006 at a Business Chicks breakfast on Valentine's Day, believe it or not.
Oh, stop.
Believe it or not.
Even better.
And because of my corporate event background, I was going to events all the time, looking for new speakers, and so I saw Pete probably 3 or 4 times over a period of 4 years. And I think the last time I saw him speak, I went, "Oh, I might sign up for this bike ride that he's talking about," and that was in 2011. So it was a long burn.
Long burn. Good on you. Well, I'm glad it's worked out for both of you. So that's it sounds like a common sounds like a really cool connection. You got the corporate events, he's a speaker, and it feels like life and love probably just meshed beautifully.
Yes, we get each other.
Oh, stop it. For all our listeners out there, I hope everyone could say that about their spouse. We get each other.
Yeah.
My wife and I are the same, so it's a beautiful comment. We get each other. Now, talking about Bainesy and talking about your work with Peter and talking about Hands Across the Water, talk us through it, Claire. Like, just for our listeners, we keep talking about Hands Across the Water. If you haven't listened to Pete's episode, here it is in a nutshell.
So Hands Across the Water. So Pete started it back in 2005 after the Boxing Day tsunami of 2004. He spent probably about 6 months over in Thailand, helping lead the Australian and international teams with the body identification. And on his last rotation, met a group of kids, had lost family, lost their home, and they were living in a tent. And off the back of that, he decided, I'd like to build them a home. And so came back to Australia, started speaking, started raising money, and within sort of 6 to 12 months, they built the first home. So it was started from tragedy, and then over the years, the need didn't go away just because time had passed. So, Hands started supporting other foundations, other kids. So we've got about 4 different projects across Thailand now. And our focus now has gone from, while we do provide education, while we do provide, food, necessities, clothing, all the things they need to survive, big focus for us is now education. And it's that focus on giving them the skills and the pathways to thrive. So it's building bright futures. That's our focus.
Building futures. Love that. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for what a great overview. And out of tragedy has come such a positive outcome and such a positive organisation. And, Pete talks about the money you raise, but not only that, how he raises it. There's no pressure. If you want to donate, you can, but come and be part of events that change your life, but also change these kids' lives. And it's really a compelling story.
Yeah. And I think, it's because we're an Australian charity raising money for Thai children, it's hard to find a strong fundraising model. So we can go out to donors here and say, hey, let's do a general fundraising campaign. And, people will always say, well, why am I supporting kids in Thailand? There's so many things here that, we can support. And so the way for us to generate that support is by creating these meaningful experiences. So I'm more likely to kick in $50 to my mate who's doing this incredible experience than I am to kick in $50 to a charity that's looking after kids in Thailand. So it was the model is very unique to Hands purely because of our location.
Right. And that has made it difficult over time, which is obviously an ongoing challenge. I think the events are probably something that help you out now when you take people away and give them an experience like the bike ride, or Peter talked about the run that he did, Claire. That was quite amazing. And I think, he talked really glowingly about your support during that, obviously, and just how much of a team you were and some of the aspects of that. Maybe you can share a little bit about that, what it was like to manage a business manager a long run through Thailand, and then at the same time, you're sort of raising money through that. Is that something you could sort of package up into a bit of an experiential?
Yeah, I mean, just to finish touching on those bike rides there, what we find is when people, the first time they sign up, you've got people supporting that person because they've signed up for the challenge. But once they get to Thailand and experience the kids and what they've been riding for, you then start to see this longevity in their support, and you almost convert a non-believer into, okay, well, now I'm committed for life almost, because I've seen where my money goes. And so it's this shared experience that we've really built hands-on. And interesting that you talk about the run, because today, 1st of December, was 12 months ago. We hit the pavement. And
Wow.
yeah, so it's been a really interesting couple of weeks, actually, just grieving and longing and just that, wanting to be back there, doing it all over again. So it's interesting that we're having this conversation today.
The universe works in funny ways, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
12 months today. So what was your role? So Peter obviously did the running, and he explained in his chat, Claire, that he ran on broken legs and he did, all sorts of stuff. And so can you tell me about what that sort of meant for you, the run personally?
Yeah, so I wore a couple of different hats. So I've got the CEO hat, the marketing person's hat, the wife hat. And then given my events background, there was the planning and the logistics of it. So, I guess from an event perspective, it's the biggest thing that I've ever done, and was just, there's a lot of planning and behind the scenes work that goes into getting one man from A to B. So, everything from pulling the right team together, having copious amounts of spreadsheets with everything mapped out. It's just my love language. And but then at the same time balancing that being a supportive wife, supporting Pete through not only the training but on the run, taking care of him each day on a personal level, and then finding time in all of that to then continue fundraising, telling the story. Being a charity, we don't have huge teams, we don't have a lot of resource, so you've just got to just keep those wheels spinning, and yeah. So there was a few different hats.
I love it. This is the biggest event you've ever planned, Spreadsheet City, and you said love language. What is your love language?
Spreadsheets.
Right. I got you. So you're a detailed human. If we did your disc, you come up as a high C, which is a very detailed human.
I'm a very, very high C.
Right. I love that high C. Cool. And it went well. Like how good is it now to sit back 12 months? Like it must have gone so well. If you're grieving that, talk us through that. Like, what was so good about it that you want to be back there now?
Oh my gosh. I think just I've never felt purpose in the way that I felt it with this run. And we had one job, and that job was to get Pete from A to B, and nothing else mattered. So whatever was happening back home, whatever's happening, within the family, nothing else mattered except for getting Pete from A to B. And so having that really clear purpose, and I know we use this word so much in business, but having that really clear purpose allowed us to make every single decision we made was based upon getting Pete from A to B. And so it was just like this, almost pressure cooker, but then, surrounded by incredible people, my parents included. I got to share the experience with my mum and dad. And so there's just so many reasons I would go back and do it again in a heartbeat.
Whoa. That's such a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. And you get to do it with the love of your life too, and you get to sort of have another experience with Peter.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thanks for sharing. Now, very quickly. So can we just on to influence and talk about maybe some of those, because you're a high C, you would have read the question set, which is good. So some people do, some people don't. Did you, or are we winging it? Where's the? Oh, this is the account. Are we winging it?
I think we're winging. I haven't seen those questions.
Oh, haven't you? Don't mind me. There they are too, Claire, by the way, just in case if you're watching this or listening, you get to know. This is the flyer that goes out to
amazing
most of our podcast guests.
So, we'll wing it. It's fine.
I think you'd be okay. So very, very quickly, Claire Baines. So tell us who's been a big influence on you? Like who's the person that you look back on and just say, you know what, wouldn't be here without them?
Oh my gosh. Maybe I should have read the questions.
No, sorry. Nice.
I mean, look, goes without saying, Peter. He's had such a huge influence on my life. And I think having someone who believes in you and supports you in such a powerful and positive way is always going to have such an influence on your life.
Can I just ask for everyone out there who potentially is looking for how to be, I guess, an influential partner, because we don't usually have this conversation, Claire, but seeing you've mentioned Peter as the most influential person, for the husbands out there, could you give us some advice on what that looks and feels like maybe what Peter does and then how that shows up for you? Is that all right?
Yeah. Look, it's a big part of it, and he will say the same about me as well. A big part of it is the belief. And I think once you know that your person believes in you, you're halfway there. like that just puts the confidence right into you. And you might be thinking about taking a step out of business or taking a step into business, and having that partner believe you, back you, support you, not necessarily come in and fix things and make it all happen, but just support and believe you, is huge. Like it's just such a good accelerator for taking on something new.
Thanks so much for sharing. That's beautifully put. You can't do it without your significant other's support. I love that, and that belief. And because I think the belief's important, because if the big visionaries go up and down, there's times where things don't go as well, and that belief has to be strong during the tough times as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is important. Thanks so much for sharing. So, what just on the topic of influence, because I'm just so intrigued by this topic, Claire. There's no other podcasts on influence. There's been some books written about it. I'm so intrigued by what influence means. What does it mean to you? Like, you were running a team over there in Thailand for that run. Let's just take the run. What do you do? How do you influence other humans?
Oh gosh, I mean, communication is such a huge part of it, right? And building relationships, having strong relationships, communicating in a way that is empathic, is compassionate for me. Like I guess that's how I take people on a journey. But also, if I come back to belief again, it's believing in the people who are working with you, and believing in the journey that you're on together. So if we're heading towards this one big, hairy, audacious goal, for example, getting Pete from A to B, the ability to influence really comes from taking people on that journey and getting them to believe the journey.
So what I heard then was communication, which builds relationships, done empathetically and compassionately, starting with grounded in a belief in the person, but a belief in the purpose. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's powerful. Thanks, Claire Baines. I love that. Unscripted too. Hey, these are your questions.
The questions.
There's the question. I'll send them for you up.
Thank you.
Then we'll do part two. You've had time to, as a high C, read them. So, Claire, you said Peter. What about professionally? Like, you ended up in events. Like, was there someone in events that you just went, like, wow, that person just knows events. I'm going to emulate that person's success. Or is it just...
Look, I think it's probably, I've had some great bosses through my time, and so I think, there's probably two or three that would 100% be the people who have influenced me and helped guide and direct me to where I am. And again, it's come back to, I'm going to bring it back to belief, and it's those role models, those people who genuinely believe in me and support me and challenge me and drive me and hold me accountable to the things that I want to be doing or where I want to go.
Wow, support, challenge, and then at the end of the day, it's got to be accountability, because if someone sees something in you, Claire, and then you say you commit, yes, I want to come on this journey with you, and you don't, it's probably not a good look.
No.
So you got to commit, which is integrity.
Well,
So,
and integrity is such a huge part of my DNA.
Is it?
100%. When we talk values, integrity's right up there.
Right up there. It's a global value.
Yeah.
So how would you define it? What does integrity defined look like for Claire Baines?
Oh gosh, it's doing the right thing. It's doing the right thing even when it doesn't feel like it's the right thing.
Even when it's not popular.
Even when it's not popular, exactly. It's
Staying honest, credible.
100%. And you know when it's not, because your gut tells you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right here, just that whole I always say it's the vagus nerve, that connection between your brain and your gut. Like we think with our gut too. We now know there's neurons in our gut, Claire, and I love it when people say that because you really do
Ugh,
think. Not a lot of people listen to it.
no.
Golly, they're powerful.
Yeah.
You're a bit of an intuitive human. You
Like to
believe.
think so.
Oh, good, good. So tell me, looking back over your career in the events business or in Hands Across the Water or the Hands Group charity, who are you most proud of? Who's the human that you've seen come up through the ranks? Who did you influence and you go, you know what, that's just such a cool story?
Straight away comes to mind because we're right in it at the moment. So we have got a girl by the name of Am who she grew up in Ben Home Hug, so one of our homes in Thailand. So she came to Home Hug when she was 4, and I've had the pleasure of watching her grow into a beautiful young girl. Went off to university, did her business English degree. And just prior to COVID, we'd arranged an internship for her through the Novotel in Bangkok. And sadly, that didn't come to fruition for obvious reasons. And so she ended up back in the home and she was working with the home, just helping the kids with school, with homeschooling and all of the things that we did during the pandemic. And then fast forward to, it was about 2022 and we were coming out of COVID, we were traveling again, and Hands had decided to set up a social enterprise in Thailand, Hands Experiences Thailand. And that was going to be a bicycle touring business that would run all of our charity rides and become a daycare business. And I had a conversation with Am and I said, look, I could potentially put you through a tour guide training and you could come and work for us and be part of Hands Experiences Thailand. And she thought about it. She said yes. She moved halfway across the country to do her southern tour guide license. She passed. She was officially announced a tour guide about 6 months ago. And just this week, so she went up to Bangkok last week. So just this week, she's starting her national tour license. So she is someone, like when you talk about influence and being proud, and she is one person for me who I am so, so proud of where she is and where she's going.
Thanks for sharing. That's a beautiful story. And hey, Dad, is that right? Sorry, just a bit of typing. I do it in the office up here because I love Deb hearing these stories as well. Deb's but just sometimes typing, we've got to just sort of manage the noise in the office. Sorry, editors, thank you so much, team. We got 2 amazing editors in the Philippines, not Thailand. So.
Fabulous. I've got a fabulous team in the Philippines as well.
Go. They're so good, eh?
Amazing.
Such an amazing group. Hey, thanks heaps for telling us about Am, and I think Am would just be so grateful for the opportunity, and I'm sure Am's going to go on and achieve great things for Hands, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Good to see. So as a leader, Claire, now I know influence and leadership is very, very similar topics, and I get that. If I was to ask you about leadership, like you led that team, people are looking up to you for guidance. Is there anything else that you haven't talked about yet around the belief, the role modeling, the support, the challenge, accountability? Is there anything from a leadership perspective that you'd love to share with our listeners?
I mean, look, my mentor / chairman will say this to me often, and she'll say I'm a very soft leader. Whereas Peter's the opposite. We're yin and yang completely. Oh, completely. Like when it comes to leadership.
No way. Really?
We both have our own ways.
So is he a high D on the disc or not really?
100% high D. 100%. Yes.
Never picked that.
I mean, look, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So what you see is what you get. One of the reasons I came out of corporate and into this kind of whole world was because I was I couldn't deal with the politics. I couldn't deal with the, the back end conversations and the water cooler conversations. It's just not, it's not in my DNA. It's not me. So yeah, look, I think, leadership is just, it comes back to everything I said before. It's taking people on a journey, and just having that belief and being able to guide and coach, but without doing the job for them.
Oh, guide and coach without doing. I like that.
Not always easy.
I know, right? Because it actually takes longer to show someone for the first time, how to do something or explain it. We had a conversation in the office this morning, and people were trying to work out where we're going and stuff. And in the end, I actually had to go back to what's our big why? What's our big, why are we doing all this?
Yeah.
Why? So that we can grow our online business. Oh, right. We're going to do all this stuff. But until I think until you explain that why and that journey and that sort of looking forward, the end game, Claire, I think it's really hard as a leader to explain to people what the vision is.
Yeah.
I love that. Well said. Where to from here for hands across the water, or the hand? It said the hands group, so obviously that includes the Thailand business and a few other businesses that are obviously all raising money. But where to from here for the group?
Yeah, so we've as I said, a big focus for us is the education, and if COVID taught us one thing, it was that we can't rely on Australians and the Australian charity sector to continue raising the money for the kids in Thailand. So, our focus has been building the operations and the foundation on the ground in Thailand. And we have now identified a number of sustainability projects. So, for example, we've got a vanilla farm, a hospitality centre, and an agricultural learning centre, all three of which will become centres that provide education, opportunity for our kids to learn, different skill sets, that leads to employment. But then on the other side of things, on the commercial side of things, you've got these entities and these business operations that are actually generating revenue, and that revenue can then feed back into our foundation and support our kids. So the 5-year goal for us is that Thailand can stand on its own 2 feet without having to worry about the revenue coming out of Australia through our bike rides, corporate donors. Of course, that will still be there. We're not trying to shut that down, but we just want to create a world where we're not reliant upon Australia.
Wow. I love the clarity in that.
It's taken a while to get there, but we're there.
Good. Well, one day I said to Pete, hopefully I can come and do a ride with you, or run, maybe even a run with him. But well, I know, right? I know. I've done a little bit of cycling, but I don't know if I could go that far. But hey,
if you can ride a bike, you can ride 800 kilometres. Trust me.
Oh,
trust me.
If you can ride 800 Ks. I love it.
Well, we've got so one of the boys from Home Hug, actually, I got a video from him this morning. He'd be 12 or 13, and he's training for the ride at the moment, and he is powering. He's doing a great job.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. So, an old mate of mine, Murray Redmond, did it with you last year, and he came back. He's going to do it every year for life now. He tells me he's just so pumped. It was great.
And
loved it.
That's it. Like, people come along, they have the experience, and then they go, I've drunk the Kool-Aid. I need to go back.
I drunk the Kool-Aid. I love that. Oh, that's so cool. Claire Baines, you have been amazing. So, I think we've covered all these questions, which I didn't send to you. So for anyone that wants to get involved, where can they go? Hands Across the Water, is that the right place?
Yep, handsacrossthewater.org.au, and that's got everything about the charity. You'll be able to see about the social enterprise models, so everything's there.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. Very, very quickly, one massive learning. What's the biggest thing? So we're 1 year out from a ride that you did for 800. Oh, sorry, for a run you did. Was it 1600K the run?
1400.
1400K. What was the biggest learning that you took out of that?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. But, I think in the context of leadership, probably the biggest learning for me was to put your oxygen mask on. And I was very clear around what my routine looked like. It was a 16-hour day, and I built it up in blocks, and I had, everything was kind of mapped out. This is when I do this is when I do that. But my oxygen mask was, I actually ended up running with Peter, and I set myself my own challenge to run a kilometre each day. I would build by a kilometre until I got to 26 kilometres on the last day. And that was probably not thinking it would be the oxygen mask that I needed. But by the end of it, and upon reflection, I look at it and I think that is what kept me sane. So it was, that period of time when I was running, my team knew that that's all I was doing. And so there was no questions, there was no phone calls, there was nothing. It was silent. And so I think it's really important as leaders that we find those pockets of time, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through meditation, whatever your vice is. I think it's super important as a leader to be doing that.
Find the pockets of time. Love that. And running kept you sane.
I never thought I would say that. Never. 351 kilometers later.
No way.
Yeah.
So you ran 351 out of the 1400
Yeah.
you ran.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You'll have to like do your own run next year.
Oh, look, I do a lot better behind the scenes.
Right.
I'm better as a support person.
Gotcha. That's such a cool story. Thank you so much. Oh, that is an absolute winner. For our listeners, as a triathlete, I can tell you, running keeps you sane. I can tell you that running helps you stay sane.
Yeah.
I do it every day now, Claire. I just love morning run. Just cool. And for leaders out there, especially the introverts, Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
Massive introvert.
I thought you're right. The high C's usually are.
Yes.
The spreadsheet people there.
Yeah.
So for you, that's why the pockets of time are important, because you've got to go away and energize somehow just on your own.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The extroverts, especially the extroverted extroverts, which is me, we get energized or pumped up by, talking to amazing humans like you. Yeah. And that's where sort of we get our energy from. Yeah. So for me, pockets of time is actually doing podcasting.
Yeah.
Because I get to talk to amazing humans. And so for every leader, it's going to be different though. And leaders need to work out what that looks like for them so that they keep their energy up.
Yeah. Oh, totally. If I think about our bike rides, the time between you finish the ride, then you've got to go out to the dinner and take everyone to dinner. I am like more than happy just to sit in my room and do nothing. I don't need to be at the bar. I don't need to be around the pool. It's like I just need that time to re-energize.
I love it, and you're so clear on that. I love.
Yeah, so clear.
And did you some nights get that time on the bike ride?
Yeah, look, there's always, I always make sure I find those times, because if I don't, I feel it in me when I haven't had that. So I feel I get short, I get grumpy, and yeah, so I know when I need a little bit of time out.
I love the clarity.
Yeah.
Claire Baines, you're amazing. Now, Peter probably told you this, because this is how you and I ended up speaking. The very last question that I'm going to ask Claire Baines today. Team, I hope you've had a great experience listening to Claire. For all our listeners, viewers, Claire, who would you, if you were me, who would you who would you recommend that I spoke to next? Have you got someone in your world, someone in your life where you think, gee, they'd be a great podcast guest to talk about influence?
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Did Baines not tell you that's how you ended up?
No, he didn't.
Thanks, Peter.
Oh.
You just trust in blind faith. Hold that thought. Come back to me.
Okay.
Uh,
I will.
Let me know if you can think of someone.
Yeah.
If not, all good. If you can think of someone, that'd be great.
Okay.
Claire Baines, you have been amazing. So you are the brains behind the organisation. Is that what I'm hearing now? You're such an
I'm the one that makes the wheels turn. Pete's the brains. He's got the big ideas.
visionary.
He's the visionary. And I'm the details person who makes it.
Put it all into practice.
Yeah.
Put it all into place. Claire, you've been amazing. Please say good day to your amazing husband for us. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're fantastic. You're amazing. Thanks, Claire.
Thanks for the chat.
Love it.
See you. Bye.
Thank you for listening or viewing our Find Your Influence podcast with Anton Guinea. Another great chat. Please be one of the 10% of people who follow and subscribe and like our videos so that you can get more of them and you can hear more of our amazing conversations, the conversations that I get to have and that I get to share.